Hi, how are you? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 reasons why you should still own a VCR. Now, of course, with many people, as soon as you say the word VCR, it automatically conjures up images of home entertainment, especially in the 1980s and the 1990s. And of course, many people would say, oh, well, VCRs are very passé, nobody uses them anymore, they're just antiquated junk. Well, I would kind of argue that. I do think there are some reasons why you should still hold on to your VCR. It's really interesting because I don't buy nearly as many movies on VHS tape as I used to, although now and then I do stumble upon a movie on VHS that I simply have to buy because it's obscure or rare or both. But basically in this video I'm going to outline my personal 5 reasons why I think you should still own a VCR. Let's get started. So, reason number 1, movies on VHS are cheap. And I mean really cheap. It's no secret that you can find VHS tapes at thrift stores and secondhand stores for sometimes less than $1. Sometimes you can buy them for $0.25 each. They can be really dirt cheap. And I often see movies, VHS movies, at places like Value Village, Goodwill, Salvation Army. They're very affordable. So if you're looking to get into VHS, if you maybe recently stumbled upon an old VCR, maybe you inherited a VCR from your uncle or from a distant relative, and you're looking to get into collecting VHS tapes, that's one of the greatest things about them. They're very cheap. The second reason why I would recommend that you own a VCR is rarity. There are many, hundreds of movies on VHS tape that have still never been released digitally. And I mean, there are still many movies that were released on VHS that were never even released on Laserdisc, much less DVD or Blu-ray. So the rarity of it can definitely be a factor of why you might want to get into this format. Again, there's lots and lots of movies that were released on VHS tape that were never released on any other format. So that in itself is a big reason why you should get into VCRs and collecting old VHS tapes. Reason number 3, you don't need the internet. You don't need Wi-Fi. A VCR operates completely separate from any sort of outside source. Again, no need for any sort of internet connection, no need for any sort of Wi-Fi. It just simply doesn't need that at all. Reason number 4, and this may sound like a funny reason, but it's absolutely true. You can have a VHS tape and say, for example, you stopped watching a movie at a certain point, maybe you had to go do something, the tape will stay at exactly the spot that you left it. Even if that tape, maybe you stop watching a movie and you set it aside and it ends up sitting on a shelf for 10 years, doesn't matter. 10 years later, that tape is still going to be in the same spot in the movie. And even if you put that tape in a different VCR all those years later, it's still going to pick up at the exact same spot that you left off at 10, 20 years ago. And trust me, I've actually done this. I've found a lot of old VHS tapes, even tapes that I recorded 15, 20 years ago that are still at the spot I left them at all those years ago. And the 5th and final reason, it's simply fun to collect. There's a real community out there of tape heads and people who are really into VHS and beta. There's all kinds of groups on the internet, all kinds of social media groups. It's really fun, and you can very easily connect with other enthusiasts who are into collecting movies on tape, whether it be VHS or beta or whatever. So it can definitely be a very fun hobby. So those are my 5 reasons why you should still own a VCR, and maybe you have your own reasons. Please, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment, give us a thumbs up, and please, as always, subscribe to the channel. It's always appreciated. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.